people from fucking me over. I'm putting up walls and protecting my mind and protecting my time. Now I'm taking the money, creating sustainable art. Y'all on the same train, y'all ride the same way. Same shit, new name, same shit, new day. Dumb niggas too paid, capping like a toupee. Gotta ride a new wave, gotta find a new way. I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't know you, you don't know me. Still got my soul, still make this green. These niggas change, but I stay me. They try to take my life from me. The king will come collect his fee. I do the most, y'all do the least. We don't eat scraps, we only feast.
We at the top, if I see it, I cop it. All this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lots of strip, if I see it, I cop it. I'm not kidding, if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid, if I see it, I cop it. We at the top, if I see it, I cop it. All of this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lots of strip, if I see it, I cop it. I'm not kidding, if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid, if I see it, I cop it.
Yeah, if I see it, I cop it. Running through stores, if I see it, I rock it. Yeah, girl, if you see it, I got it. Run it up more, we need all the profit. 100 racks back up in summer 16. Spent that whole bag on a whole summer dream. Life's complicated, no Avril Lavigne. Copped a new condo to blow off some steam. All these rappers just rapping in triplets. Pushing that product, just got a new shipment. Pushing that roll 50 over the limit. Cushion that blow, I don't get why they with it. We at the top and we throwing the game. All of these peasants will know of my name. All of these blessings, we staying the same. The drip is fluorescent, I'm going insane. Royal genetics all up in my veins. Back me a real one and gave her my name. All of these issues, but no one to blame. Praying that God will just show me the way. Changing the game, got the source code, and I'm off-road and my horses go skirt. One in the same day, of course, no, we in first, yo, all my niggas we were. Faking the fame, but we all know, cause the source told all you niggas just learn. Talking and saying y'all pseudo, and it's true though, y'all just popping them perks. Taking the stage, got a few shows, let the crew know it's a cloud in the dirt. I am the king and it's my throne, y'all are kind though, they keep calling me Zerlix.
We at the top, if I see it, I cop it. All this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lots of strip, if I see it, I cop it. I'm not kidding, if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid, if I see it, I cop it. We at the top, if I see it, I cop it. All of this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lots of strip, if I see it, I cop it. I'm not kidding, if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid, if I see it, I cop it.
We only got one life, I'ma get that. If you with that, do not sit back and just wish that you had it. Despite all your witchcraft and your riffraff, this is my gift and you wish that you had it. Tonight gonna bump trap, gonna thump that. Drums in the back and you know that we have it. Girls like where the one at, need to run back. Flee from these niggas, you know that they savage. They acting macho like they Randy Savage. They call me Pablo, the kingpin is at it. I am Apollo, you Rocky, I've had it. Y'all can just follow cause niggas is slacking. I am Jack Sparrow, my verses is cracking. I am the ghost and you rappers is Pac-Man. Out in the coast and I'm getting more blacking. Y'all acting hairy, I'm grabbing the waxing.
Top, if I see it, I cop it. All of this guap, if I see it, I cop it. Got some new drip, if I see it, I cop it. Saw that new whip, if I see it, I cop it. Need a new grip, if I see it, I cop it. Lobster and shrimp, if I see it, I cop it. I am that kid, if I see it, I cop it. House off the grid, if I see it, I cop it.
Swole Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testing, testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 3300 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, Beaches, Booshes? Bustas, Hustlers, and Yo-Hoes. It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you as powered, is sponsored by Everson K2, flexing on all you bees. Fam, today our Swole card is every day. We had some issues in the office, had some flooding actually, so I had to rip up the floors and pull some stuff out. So today we're just doing straight up Swole card, hashtag every day. I had to disconnect some of the cameras and this and that and the other. So all you have to do today is just look at my face. I know, it's not the greatest. So Tessie is on vacation. Hashtag every day will give away the Swole card at the end of today's episode. So thank you everyone for being here today. Yes, I am indeed rocking the brand new Pumpachoo design. I just got this in this morning. So get yours over at papaswolio.com. And for those of you that are members, you heard over the weekend, been talking about it since last Friday. We've had a lot of stuff that we've been working on, so we didn't announce the signature series in advance as long as we normally do, but it's available right now, and it's available for today only. So what you can do is head on over to swolenormousx.com/signature. Again, that's swolenormousx.com/signature. And you can pick up P3S14 right now for today only. It ends at midnight tonight. There's a countdown timer, or maybe slightly after midnight, I think it is. So anyway, go and check it out. And if you don't get it today, you don't get it. And it will be going out very shortly. P3S13, a lot of you maybe have received P3S13 already, but this one's going out very soon. We're getting this one out a lot earlier than we did the last couple because we had a lot of stuff that was going on. Swole cards have been sent out. So if you're waiting on Swole cards, you'll be getting your Swole cards soon. So we got a lot of good stuff coming, and we've gotten up to speed with a lot of things. So it's been an eventful weekend on my end. But of course, we do have Church and Tainty Man here. We don't have their cameras set up, but they're here, and we're ready to go every day. Hashtag every day for a chance to win today's Swole card, and swolenormousx.com/signature. in order to pick up the signature series. But we're here and we're getting it done. And we have some awesome Swole fan posts. We'll get into some of those questions. I sent out a Swole text yesterday or so asking if you had any questions. We got a few that came back, and you can drop questions in the comments down below, and we'll get to some live questions as well. So without further ado, let's get on into
Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside.
We got this one from George, and George says, "Hey everyone, I am not new to working out. I just finished a heavy lifting program, but was intrigued with mobility and overall wellness. I have watched Swolio's IG for a while and have really appreciated his messages, so I joined. I'm excited, and I officially started Primer Week today. Let's go." Hadouken! Hadouken! Awesome. Welcome to the fam, George. And Primer Week is the initial foundation week in the 90-day dash. And of course, we have a lot of different programs for all levels, ages, depending on what your goals are. So check us out, swolenormousx.com. Welcome to the fam, George. We also have one from Mark, looking sexy in his GTTFG beard merch. Mark says, "It's about to be a hot girl summer, or whatever these cunts call it. I'm ready to serve my country in the dick draft, so I'm training long and hard. Hashtag go to the fucking gym, dick draft, don't be a lazy cunt. Fuck summer, fuck being summer ready. 365 hard and bring it." Nice hashtags there. All right. So let's get into some of these questions. If you do have live questions, you could drop it in the comments. And of course, we'll take more live ones after we get through these personal member questions. We'll get a few of these going. Riley is asking Papa Swolio, how many days per week would you say you do yoga for recovery? How many days would you double up, meaning doing both lifting and yoga on the same day. I have not been doing like dedicated yoga on a regular basis. I integrate my mobility training with my strength training. So today, and I usually implement this maybe once every 7 to 14 days, where I will focus, not really, maybe not that long, but usually I will implement mobility training with my strength training, meaning for legs, I will, instead of doing maybe a good morning or a hip hinge, I will do a hip hinge, but I'll use Jefferson curls. And I train mobility the same way I train any other body part and any other strength movement, where I try to progressively overload. So I'll train my Jefferson curls the same way that I would do any other resistance exercise for hypertrophy. So you can do that as well. You can add micro mobility. You could do that during the day. You could do deep squats. You can integrate that more often on a regular basis. You don't necessarily have to do focused specific time for mobility. You can do yoga. You can do some stretching for 5 minutes throughout the day. A couple times a day, you could do a 30-minute yin class. You could do a vinyasa flow. You could do an express class. So it doesn't really matter. It depends on how it fits into your schedule. And remember, this kind of stuff makes sure that you keep the cracks sealed, that you don't have cracks in your foundation. So it's very important, because if you don't have proper mobility, your injury risk goes up tremendously. Your quality of life will decrease. And it's very important to be able to move as a human and move in a full range of motion. So don't limit yourself. Make sure you're integrating this, and you have to kind of figure out what works best for you. Maybe your schedule is you lift really early in the morning. You get up early, you train at 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. You go to work all day. Then yoga is fantastic at night. Yin yoga is fantastic at night. And I think it's even more important for people that are not moving around all day. If you're more sedentary, you're at a cubicle, and you have an early morning lifting session at night, doing a decompressive type of yoga is amazing for kind of undoing the sedentary nature of your day at the end of the night. So it really depends on your structure, how you feel. But if you're training every other day, it's excellent to do yoga on those in-between days. And of course, you could do a yin class right after your strength training. You could do sauna right after. It really depends on your flow and how you feel and how it benefits you personally for your psychological and physical health. So really, again, what's your goal with your overall training, and what are you doing to facilitate that? Because you really want to be building muscle, creating the stimulus, or exposing your body to it. And then, of course, aiding in the repair and the recovery as efficiently as possible. Ryan says, Papa Swole, I'm curious about your new hair seed product coming out. My hair has been receding for a few years, and I have just been shaving my head. I haven't wanted to try any other products because of the insane list of toxic ingredients. Can your hair seed, it's called scalp seed, but that's totally fine. Can your scalp seed regrow hair, or is that not really what it's intended for? Either way, I'm in on the moisturizer. Thanks. Scalp seed is not a miracle product. You know, it's natural ingredients, natural essential oils, and it helps fortify the roots. It's really great for promoting hair growth and the strength of the follicles. But it's not like if you're balding, you put the scalp seed on your head and it's going to be like a miracle drug. So it's not anything like that. If you already have receding hair, a lot of times that's genetic. It could be nutritional based, but you guys know a lot of times genetically you might be predisposed to having a receding hairline. It's not magic, but for the hair that you have, it's going to strengthen the follicles. It's going to strengthen the roots and promote growth. But it's not a magic serum. I'd love to tell you that, yeah, if you're losing all your hair and you're bald and you use scalp seed, it's going to grow into a thick, luscious hair forest. I wish I could tell you that, but it's not meant to be anything like a miracle. Now, I'm not saying it might not help, but at the same time, you know, if you're already receding that hairline, it's not going to put hair where you don't have any. But it's going to help reinforce and strengthen the hair that you do have. So it could be something that you use, or maybe you just stick with the moisturizer and, you know, take care of your nutrition and enjoy the hair that you have while you have it. I know. Aww. I know. Not everyone is meant to have long, luscious locks. A lot of that genetics, you know, genetics is a big role of that. All right, we got one here from Tim, and Tim says, I thought I had asked this before, but I don't see the thread. I have a 90-degree Roman chair. I hear you speak of the 45-degree hyper. I'm just trying to understand if the 90 has less advantages, or is this just another machine? Well, it is just another machine. It's definitely not the same thing as a 45-degree hyper. remember, you have to look at where the tension is. So for a 90-degree Roman chair, that's really more meant for abdominals, but you can still do hyperextensions on it. You just don't have tension at the bottom of the movement. So at the 45-degree, you're going to have more of a full range of motion for your spinal erectors and for your hamstrings. You're not getting that same type of stretch from a Roman chair. So if you have access to a 45-degree and you try that, you'll notice the differences right away. So it doesn't have the same kind of strength profile because the tension's at the top and there's really no tension at the bottom. Whereas at a 45-degree, you're getting more stretch. So you're getting more hamstrings and you're going to get more glutes in the 45-degree. You will still get glutes at the top because the tension's the most at the top, but you're not getting the stretch for the hamstring. So it's not going to be treated in terms of what you're trying to target. So it's not going to hit those muscles the same way. But it's still, you're still going to get benefits for your spinal erectors and stuff like that if you use it in that sense. But a 45-degree is totally different. And it's much better for the hamstrings and glutes and spinal erectors because of the range of motion that you get with a 45-degree. Good question. Good question. I think we have one. Let's see. Maybe we have one or two more. Let me see if I can bring it up. That's what I have in my folder. But I think we got another one. We'll take this one from Abby, and let me just pull that up on the screen. I'm just going to pull up the image itself and put it over my face just to read it. And Abby says, Papa Swole, if you were advising someone who had 45 minutes per day, 5 days per week, what kind of training split would you suggest? I was thinking day 1, chest and back, day 2, yoga, day 3, legs, day 4, arms, day 5, VO2 max, Norwegian 4x4. I don't know what that means. Let's see. 45 days per week. You're training body parts once per week. So if you have 5 days per week, why don't you just do an upper lower split or full body? You're better off doing full body every other day and then doing your cardio and yoga on in between days or based on how you feel. So you're not getting enough frequency on those body parts. As a female, there's no reason that you're doing chest and back once a week. There's no need to have an arm day. If you're a female, there's no need to have an arm day. There really isn't. An arm day is just ridiculous. The same thing with a shoulder day. If you're doing a shoulder day in your training or you're doing an arm day, honestly, it's a waste of a day. So what you might like to do, well, I'm not just going to talk to Abby, but again, there's full body. Here are the options, or here are the ones that I recommend people try and see what works best for you in your schedule. You have full body, you have upper lower, and you have upper lower like a push-pull legs. I wouldn't just do push-pull legs, but you could do an upper lower and push-pull leg combination. So if you want to have days where you target a little bit more arms, the push-pull legs portion of an upper lower, you do upper lower and then rest, push-pull legs, rest, upper lower, rest, push-pull legs, rest. On the push and pull, you can do a little bit more arms on those days because for the given volume, you're focusing on less body parts. So it's a good way to target a little bit more arms, but there's no point. A shoulder day is a waste of time. Seriously, having a straight shoulder day is an absolute waste of time. It is. There's no need to have a shoulder day. So you are overdoing the volume in that case on your shoulders and you're missing out on gains. I promise you. So you're much better off doing upper lower. If you want to focus, if shoulders are a weak point for you, you can focus on shoulders on your upper day. And you could focus on shoulders on your push day or on your pull day. You can start a push day with an overhead press. You can start a pull day with a posterior deltoid or a lateral raise. You can start your upper day with a lateral raise or an overhead press. There's nothing wrong with prioritizing shoulders, but having a separate day is just doesn't make sense for a schedule. It really doesn't, because your shoulders don't need that much volume. So having an entire day for shoulders, that means you're doing, you have to think about that. What are you doing for a shoulder day? You're doing 9 sets or something, 3 sets. It's just too much. It's too much. So if you're much better off, I would recommend nothing more than prioritizing shoulders and upper lower or a push-pull legs. Segmenting more in that, doing shoulders and biceps or shoulders and triceps. It really depends on your overall split, but just understand that that's going to be way too much segmentation for the vast majority of people. You can still prioritize body parts and not have a segmented day for just that. Because remember, if you're trying to bring up a body part, you're trying to bring that up relative to other body parts. It's like, okay, just prioritize shoulders on those days. Just do your shoulder training first, or an exercise or two on a day where you're doing upper body. And then that's the stimulus that you need. You don't need a separate day. Okay. But again, there's always context and what you prefer. And I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just saying it's, by all intents and purposes, this is not worthwhile use of time to isolate that much for a whole day. Let's get into some questions. Let's get into some more questions. You could follow up. And again, I'm not saying that you can't do it. I'm not saying that, a shoulder day is never going to be effective. And I'm certainly not saying that if you do shoulders, you're not going to get results. But for most people, you're getting plenty of shoulders. When you're doing back training, you're getting your shoulders. When you're doing pushing exercise, you're getting your anterior and your middle deltoid. So what you can do, for example, if you're trying to prioritize shoulders on a push day, you could do an overhead press and you could do lateral raises. And then for your chest day, for your chest exercise, you could just do a fly. You could do a pec deck instead. So again, it really comes down to what you're trying to prioritize. There's a better way to do it, is my point. Mark on Rumble. So drop your questions if you want to follow up with anything we talked about. There's some good prompts, some good questions. So make sure you drop it in the comments if you want to follow up, if something that I mentioned or something that someone asked, if it spurns a question or you want to go deeper on it, make sure you drop in the comments. People are asking about Baby Swole merch. And yeah, I already had that idea to do something with that. I think the Baby Swole merch, I think the Baby Swole images will be great on the website showing babies wearing the merch. That would look awesome for like the kids' shirts and stuff like that. But would you guys want merch with the actual Baby Swole on it? Like go to the fucking gym, like flexing and stuff like that. We can do that. I had some ideas just having it like on the site where instead of having just the shirt there for a collection, you have the baby wearing the shirt. So that's cool. Those videos are hilarious. The AI is getting it's so good already. Look at how good the AI is. Think about how good the AI is going to be in a year. If we can already take videos and have a baby doing all of it, and it looks, obviously it's not real and you can tell it's AI, but it's going to get better and better. It's going to get to the point where I don't even have to film any more new videos. It'll just be like, hey, take this video of Papa Swole and do it with this shirt. And I won't have to film any videos anymore. I already expect that that's probably what's going to happen. I'll still do some videos, but it's going to be really cool because we have a lot of ideas and things that we're doing for the videos and other AI we could do with the videos. It's going to be funny. The baby ones can be a little bit creepy. The best part is that they're offensive. It's like, take 2 scoops of shut the fuck up. And you're like, why is this little baby all up in my grill? This is aggressive baby. Very aggressive baby. Let's get some more feedback. Do you guys have a shoulder day? What do you guys do for your training and for your programming? Alex says having a straight shoulder day definitely seemed very redundant since almost everything upper body can work them. Mike says I do very little isolation exercise anymore. I do more compound movements now. Yet people don't really need as much for their arms and for their shoulders as they think. But like I said, when you're doing any kind of upper body training, pushing or pulling, you're getting your shoulders involved. That's why it doesn't take that much more to get stimulus. Just have to prioritize those exercises first. All right. So you do that first. All right. On a push day, if it's an upper day, you could start off. There's nothing wrong with starting off with a shoulder press. There's nothing wrong with starting off with a lateral raise. There's nothing wrong with starting off a pull day with some posterior deltoid if that's what you need to focus on. You just have to prioritize it on those given days. You don't need to have a separate day because after those first couple sets, if you're doing a separate shoulder day, your stimulus, the diminishing returns happens right away after the first set or two. You're already more fatigued and you're not getting the same stimulus. You're just getting some blood flow. You might get a little pump. That's fine. But the whole goal is the stimulus. And after like 1 or 2 sets for shoulders, you're fried. especially if you're training with intensity. It's a good topic. It's a good topic. So again, what I'm saying about shoulder day is that not that you shouldn't prioritize a certain body part. It depends on what you're trying to do, but you don't need a separate. It's like having a chest day. There's no need to have a chest day. Just have a day where you're prioritizing chest for upper body. Okay, let's get into some more questions. Drop your questions in the comments.
What's in the box?
Let's get a couple more. This one's from Hosinte Mori. Papa Swole, what is the best whey and creatine for bodybuilders? Well, this is a kind of a, I don't want to say a vague question, but there's a lot of creatine products out there. I would make sure that your creatine has, as far as I'm aware, Creapure is one of the best sources of creatine. I believe this comes from Germany. So if you're having a creatine product and it says it's made with Creapure, that's usually a really clean source, because you have to be mindful of the processing and maybe impurities in your products. You want to go with a reputable brand, and if they use Creapure, that's a good idea. The best whey, everyone's going to have their own opinions, but I think it's called Nature Force, and that's great collagen and grass-fed and finished whey protein. They make a great whey and they make a great collagen, and you can find that on Amazon. We have that in the Amazon store. So that's what I use. Proteinachew? No, this is Pumpachew. Pumpachew merch, papaswolio.com. We still have the buy one, get one. Do we still have buy one, get one 50%? I think we still have that. Or is that over? That was ending. We don't, the BOGO, the buy one, get one 50 ended. So we have 20% off everything. So Pumpachew is, yeah, we have a 20% off. So including new releases. So 20% off everything on the site. So go and check it out. And Pumpachew is available. It's right there at the top next to Gym Busters for the new releases. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. And understand, if you're trying to build your shoulders, that's really good for that V taper. A lot of people really want to focus on that middle deltoid. But if you look at the shoulders, the middle deltoid is a very small muscle. So if you're doing a shoulder press, you're still getting middle deltoid. So a shoulder press, and the only 3 shoulder exercises you need, no joke, is an overhead press, a lateral raise, and a posterior deltoid, cable or reverse pec deck. That's it. That's how you train your shoulders. And don't forget those traps too. Kelso shrugs are fantastic. So if you're trying to develop your shoulders, it's progressive overload. There's really not a lot of variety to do for shoulders. You don't need variety. You just got to find an exercise that you like, that you can load properly. Because if you have an exercise that you're not able to load properly, for example, bands, it's hard to progressively overload with certain exercises and the strength curve isn't ideal. There's a couple exercises that bands are really good for. Bands are really good for triceps extensions, and they're really good for glutes. Champion in the works. What's your favorite workout? Mama Swolio.
Because Dickens.
What's my favorite workout? It's Jacob. Papa Swolio, is it okay to eat ice cream once in a while? Sure, but you have to make the ice cream properly. Make it yourself. If you're buying ice cream from the store, you're getting ultra processed shit. So make it yourself. Get yourself some. You can make it with a bunch of different ways. Egg yolks. You can make it with colostrum, raw cream, raw milk, maple, real maple syrup. Make it yourself. Blend it up. Make it yourself. You could add fruit and blend it all together. You could use a Ninja or a Vitamix or a blender and mix it all together. So there's nothing wrong with ice cream. What's wrong with it is the ingredients. Same thing. There's nothing wrong with meat, but it's bad if it's grain-fed, poisoned meat with mRNA vaccines and antibiotics, and it's cooked in canola oil. It's the source. It's the quality. Ice cream is just iced cream. But if you're using low-quality pasteurized dairy and skim and all that crap, you're getting garbage ingredients. So it's not the ice cream that's bad. It's the ingredients. You can make your own. We have ice cream recipes inside the app. Lidieri Enki, Papa Swolio, what is your opinion on when and what to eat post-workout? I like to eat post-workout. I like sugar and protein. You can make a shake right after. You can eat right after. That's your preference depending on when you train and what your overall goals are. So do you have to eat immediately? Is there an anabolic window? If you don't eat within 5 minutes, are you going to die and lose muscle? That's not true. That's a myth. but everyone's different. Some people like to train hard and then boom, they're cooking a steak. Some people want to have a shake, wait half an hour, let your sympathetic nervous system chill out a little bit, and then make food. That's totally fine too. It's really your overall protein and overall caloric consumption and the quality of your foods. You don't have to eat immediately after your workout. That's preference. But usually after a workout, I'm thirsty as hell. I need some simple sugars. I want some carbs. I want some fruit. I'll eat a half a watermelon. I'll pound. I'm usually really hungry after. So everyone's different. More questions. Craig Boy. Papa Swole, do you think pull-ups are the most effective upper back exercise for strength? No, but I think you should be able to do a pull-up. There's nothing wrong with pull-ups. Again, it's just more challenging to load. You can get a weight belt and you can put plates and hang plates, but that's why a lot of people opt for chest-supported rows for upper back. You can do all sorts of things. So if that's all you have access to, but you have weight plates and you have a weight belt, you can definitely load up and do heavy dips. You could do heavy pull-ups. You could do close grip chins. You could do wide grip and load up there. So there's nothing wrong with doing pull-ups. It's about the progressive overload. So the most effective upper back exercise, I think that's a loaded question, just because saying the most effective of anything, that's really going to depend on what exercise that's stable, able to be progressively loaded that you're going to be consistent with. So if you love doing weighted pull-ups, good. Keep on adding weight, keep on adding reps, make sure it's quality, and keep on hammering it away. But it gets to a point, and if you ever tried to do that, it gets to a point where it just becomes less and less, I don't want to say realistic. It just becomes more and more, it's a longer setup, and it might be more taxing. So for example, if I'm trying to do weighted chins, it's much more of a pain in the ass for me to get the belt out, get it all set up, get the stepper set up, put all these plates between my legs rather than just going out to my lat raise, or wide grip pull down machine and then boom, loading up. I'm very stable and I can send it. So it really depends. It really depends on what you like to do and what you're able to progressively overload. So I don't think there really is in some cases. If you're comparing two exercises, there might be one that's more effective, but you'll find also when you're setting up different machines or different exercises, there might be an exercise at your home gym or your commercial gym that you really like, but it takes longer to set up. And there's also fatigue with that. So if you're doing if you're doing a leg press, it might be more of a pain in the ass for you to set up and get all these plates. Sometimes gyms don't have a lot of plates there. People leave them on all different machines. You have to source 45-pound plates from all over the gym. You're trying to find 20, 25 different 45-pound plates. It could take you a while. You're loading up all the plates. It just takes more time. Whereas you can walk over to a leg extension machine, put the pin in there and get to work. So that's why weight stack machines can sometimes be more effective. It depends on what the setup process is. Or you might have a home gym where you might like certain exercise, but to take the bar off, put it over here, put the risers up, load the plates on, it just takes you more time and you don't feel like doing it. So there's also that kind of psychological hurdle and preparation for an exercise that just might not be worth the time setting it up. So it really depends on some of those other factors too. Mario. Papa Swole, what shoes do you use when you must use them? What shoes do I use when I must use them? I like flat shoes. I like the Zero slipper shoes. Those are really nice. You can use Vibrams. You can check out Vivo Barefoot. There are a lot of good other ones out there, I'm sure, but those are ones that I have. There are a bunch of good neutral or barefoot shoe companies that are very comfortable and mimic being barefoot. So barefoot shoes, like BEAR is another brand. There's a bunch of them out there. I'm sure there's many, many more. But Zero makes some good ones that just kind of slip on, and I beat the shit out of them. I just kind of slip them on, and if I'm wearing shoes, that's where I'm wearing. Because I have a wide toe box and a lot of foods, like the Chuck Taylors are very narrow, so they pinch your feet a lot. So I wore those for a short period of time, but they always hurt my feet because they're too narrow. All right. Kara, if I didn't have steak, what meat would you recommend? Ground beef. Ground beef, eggs. That's what I would recommend. So if you don't have access or it's expensive, again, if you're trying to eat grass-fed and finished beef, steaks can get expensive. Strip steaks and ribeyes are more pricey for a reason. They're delicious and they're awesome. They know they can charge more for them because you get great connective tissue. They're delicious. But grass-fed and finished ground beef is very affordable, relatively speaking. So you can get that for $5, $6, $7, $8 a pound, especially if you buy in bulk. So that's a great thing to do because you get a lot of collagen in there too because it grinds up all the connective tissues and such. Ombre says beef tongue. Yeah, beef tongue. You can get those organs. Why is your mic not on? It is on. You're watching on TikTok. You're not watching on Rumble or YouTube. Last chance for questions. Mess says, I wear my Vivo barefoot every day. I used to have plantar fascia pain 2 months in these and no more. Nice. Yeah, so there's a lot of good brands out there and they keep on popping up. So you can do a search for barefoot shoes and see what pops up and see what you like. You could try different things. Maybe there's a store that has a few. They'll probably have some local stores that have a section or something for barefoot or zero drop shoes, and you could try on a few, or you can order some and then maybe they have a return policy. So you could find something that you like and then wear that. The closer you are to barefoot, the better. It's better for your feet. Juanchito Estrada. I'm 46 years old, just started at the gym. Any advice? Yeah, make sure that you are focusing on progressive overload, a quality strength training program, proper nutrition, the foundations, the fundamentals. You need to make sure you're on a good program. You never want to go to the gym and just do random stuff. You want to make sure you have a purpose for what you're doing. Otherwise, you're not going to adapt to anything. So make sure you have proper form. Make sure you understand what progressive overload is. Make sure your programming allows for your full recovery. If you're 46 and you're just starting out, fatigue is going to be a big issue because recovery is going to be much slower than if you start off when you were 26, if you're 46 or 49. Jesus Christ. Do you guys hear that thud? Mangoes are falling on the roof like crazy. It's mango season. We're getting a bunch that are dropping and birds are eating them and then they hit the roof. Surprises me every time, but if you hear a big thud, that's mangoes falling on the roof. I got to go outside and pick them up and eat them. Best pre-workout is fresh mangoes from the tree. Nice. Mike doesn't go to the gym. I see you still comb your hair like a sissy girl. You know nothing about your hair. If you think I comb my hair, does this look like I comb my hair? Does that look like my hair is combed? If you know anything about hair, this is not freshly combed hair, so. Do I have an app? Yes, the Swolenormous app. You could join the fam over at swolenormousx.com and download the Swolenormous app and get access to everything we have inside Swolenormous X. So we do have a Swolenormous app, and it's fantastic. By the way, if you're watching, the Signature Series is available today only. So make sure you head on over to swolenormousx.com/signature. Available for purchase only today. I think there's like 12 hours remaining. And then it's gone. So it's a one-time release. Surprise merch. We've never disappointed with a Signature Series release. So make sure you go and pick yours up today. swolenormousx.com/signature. Mangoes on your roof, indeed. Well, we have like a 40-foot mango tree. I think it's like 40 or 50 feet, and they just fall. Birds and iguanas and squirrels sometimes are climbing on the fruit, and they'll peck at it to get a little bit. So there'll be like a little tiny, like thin hole from a bird pecking it, and then it falls, and then they leave it. So I have to cut that part out of the mango, but they'll land on the roof. They fall from the tree and land on the roof. It's a good sign when I hear like a boom, boom, boom. Like, yeah, mangoes. I get to go outside and just pick on the mangoes. I love it. It's so good. The right side of our sink, we just have a bunch of mangoes in there. So I just go over there and I'll cut them and I'll smash a few and then perfect. It always shocks me because like, it's falling like 15, 20 feet. And sometimes they fall before they're ripe if a bird is hitting it or whatever. So sometimes they're really rock hard and they're not ready. They're not really ripe and they fall before they should. Okay. Good stuff. Yeah, we have papaya trees and stuff too, but I don't think they're fruiting yet. We had one last year, but they haven't been. We're waiting to put up our fence, and then once we do, we're going to plant a lot of fruit trees. I'm just waiting to plant fruit trees because we want to plant them on the edge of the yard, but I don't want to plant them and then we have to tear them up when we put the fence in. So we're waiting to do that, and then going to be planting all these tall trees and fruit trees along the fence line. But the papaya was great. It was great. It was great. If you really want to have a bunch of fruit in season, you have to have a lot of trees, because one tree might, and for papayas, you need to have male and female around each other. I have like 10. I have two papaya trees in the back, and then I have like 5, 6, or 7 that I have in pots that I'm growing from. We were growing them from seed. They're getting pretty big, but they're not ready to fruit yet. All right. Would I recommend kimchi or sauerkraut? Fermented foods are great. So fermented pickles are great. Kefir is great. If you like kimchi or sauerkraut, you can try it and see how it works for you. But it's really good for probiotics. Fermented foods are great. Sourdough bread. You want these things to be fresh, though. So it depends. If you buy it from a store, if you get it from a farmer's market, it's better. But you really need these kind of things fresh. It makes a big difference if it's fresh, like sourdough. So you have to, and it depends on what flour is made from and how fresh it was since it was made and this and the other. But there's nothing like fresh fruit off the tree. Some things like avocados, they need to be picked off the tree before they ripen. They're not going to ripen on the tree. But mangoes, you want them to tree ripen, and they're so good. They start to turn like this nice, vibrant red and yellow, and then you know they're ready. And if they're a little bit underripe, you can cut them up and you can put some lime juice in them and put some chili powder and kind of make a nice little mango salad, which is really good if they're not fully ripe. Green mangoes can be used like that. All right, are we ready to get into some releases? So drop that in the comments. We do have some new releases, some new announcements. We got the Signature Series live today. Today's Swole card, the camera's not set up right now, but hashtag every day for a chance to win today's Swole card on Rumble. Hamza is asking, without cardio, can I lose fat while I'm building muscle? You're only really going to lose fat while you're building muscle if you're new to the gym, if you have newbie gains or a lot of fat to lose. So you don't need cardio to lose fat. You need proper strength training and proper nutrition, but cardiovascular capacity is great. VO2 max, people ask me all the time. I'm not anti-cardio. I never say, I joke about it, but you just don't need as much as you think you do, and you don't need to do it all the time. So you could do higher intensity. That's much better than doing long, slow duration cardio, aside from going for a walk. Like walking has a lot of benefits. It's overrated for fat loss, but it's underrated for meditation. It's underrated for psychological health. It's underrated for sunlight. It's underrated just for going for a walk and having that kind of, it's really just great for your mind. Like get off your phone, put in airplane mode if you have to bring it with you. Just go and walk your dog. Just go for a walk and look around, smell the flowers, look around, get some sunlight. So walking is great just for overall mental health as well. But if you're trying to get cardiovascular benefits, you're better off doing like higher intensity, shorter duration, and using it in conjunction with a solid strength training program. So cardiovascular capacity and muscle mass are both directly related to longevity and mobility and overall health into your later years. So you really want both. You don't need to be as big as possible. You don't need to be 300 pounds shredded to have longevity benefits from building muscle. That's where I think people get it twisted. It's like, oh, the more muscle, the better. Not necessarily, because if you're taking a lot of anabolic steroids, you're going to be holding a lot more extra mass than your body is designed to have. So muscle mass is great, and strength training is great for your bones. It's great for your insulin sensitivity. It's great for so many different aspects of your life. And it's important to train these things. But the ratio in which you train them and what you're trying to accomplish, it's not required to be like lean. Okay, we are going to continue. So if you're watching on TikTok, click the link in bio. Check out the 20% off over at papasoya.com. Links for the podcast are over there on the website in the main menu. That way you can continue watching the show. Thanks for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe, share the show with your friends. Thank you, TikTok. Let's move into some releases and maybe some balls deep content. Let's see what we got here.
That's deep.
Got a few announcements. Let's get into some new releases in the Swole
What's
app.
in the box?
First recipe this week is grilled swordfish. Ayo. That's nice. Very nice. We like some grilled saltfish. Okay. Very nice. You like some fish? You like fish? Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. If you do, you might like that one. If you don't, you won't like that one. We have another one. This is interesting. People are adding all sorts of shit to their meat. You got to add the stuff to chicken. That way it actually tastes good. But you can try some strawberry basil chicken. Interesting. Interesting.
Wow.
All right. Golf clap for that one. What do you think? Strawberry basil chicken or basil? Basil of Baker Street. That's from Great Mouse Detective. Basil. What's that green shit? Strawberries on your chicken. All right. If you use tallow to cook your chicken, it'll make it taste good. Why? Because chicken's super lean. It's a weak bird. So I personally have no interest in like mixing fruit with like food. I like it separate. This is just something. Look, again, these recipes, if you like to experiment and you want to try all these different things, it's really up to you, but it's super unnecessary to add all this stuff together. Just saying. All right, we got one more.
What's in the box?
You know it's going to taste good, though. It'll taste good for sure. Thai beef ball. If you want beef and you like Thai, maybe you like a Thai beef ball. Ooh, a Thai beef ball.
We choose truth over facts.
I like a Thai beef ball. You like that? Deep cut Basil of Baker Street. Very underrated Disney movie. Very underrated. Mr. Flavisham. Daddy, where are you? Rattigan. What a great movie. That's one of the best movies out there. Great Mouse Detective is one of the best animated movies ever. Change my mind. You can't. You can't. You guys are going to love some of these releases. Okay. Let's get into some featured classes, feature workouts. If you do have last minute questions, let's get into a couple. We'll do a couple videos. I believe we have a few. But let's get into those featured classes. We rotate them every single week.
What's in the box?
This week's featured classes, let's see. Morning Flow Express with Rachel. Great class. Those of you asking, hey, what yoga can I do with my training programming? Try a Morning Flow Express class. That's dope. We also have featured Swollen 7 Steel Club round 2. Let's get some gorillas. And we also have Maximum Swole biceps and triceps. So there you go. There you have it. There you have it. Featured workouts this week, now available in the Swollen Armist app. And let's get into a couple balls deep videos, and we'll get into some new yoga. We got a couple other releases. We do have merch. We have double merch because we have the signature series. We have the signature series that's now available. We also have new merch, and we have other announcements. So we're doing some stuff different this week, so it's going to be exciting. Let's get into a video, and I'm going to take one. Why is... Okay, we got two videos here. We'll do a throwback or two when we do these drops. So let's do this one. This one's called Dress Code. Dress Code.
What's in the box?
Oh, I heard about this. Got the nice communist fist there. Starbucks is on.
I've been a barista at the Lincoln Highway Starbucks here.
Starbucks is on strike.
A little over 3 years. We're out on strike today because Starbucks is trying to implement a new dress code. No one ever asked for a new dress code. They updated a dress code recently and it made it looser where we could wear colors and patterns. And now they're deciding that we can only wear black. It's very restrictive. Most of us had to buy new clothes. We can't afford it. We barely make enough money to pay our bills. And also on top of that, they keep trying to make all these changes in union stores, and it's illegal. They're not allowed to make these changes without bargaining with us and voting on this. So it's just incredibly alarming and upsetting that Starbucks is continuing to do illegal things to our union stores. And so we're out here making sure that they know that we're still here, and then we're fighting for that contract.
Doesn't seem like it's illegal if they're doing it. I doubt that Starbucks would do something that's illegal and hang themselves out to dry. If you don't know, this person's outside wearing a communist fist holding, was it a shaker bottle? Is that an empty latte cup or something? So she had enough money to buy a Starbucks Workers United shirt. Maybe they were giving them out, but, this person's outside in 2025 wearing a mask, if you're just listening. So if you're wearing a mask, period, let alone in 2025, your opinion is immediately invalid because you're retarded. And Starbucks, guess what? You work there. You work there. So you should probably do what the employer tells you to do. If I was Starbucks, anyone that's on strike, it's like, goodbye, you don't work here anymore. So yeah, Starbucks is notoriously garbage coffee, and the woke tards that work there are exactly that. They're woke tards. So yeah, you shouldn't be wearing rainbow colors. You know that got out of hand. You know that got out of hand. You know they were probably wearing all sorts of like purple hair dye and all these random, rainbow cult shirts and things like that. You work for a company. There's a dress code. I've worked for companies before too. Even if it was a gym, even if it was a school, you had a certain thing that you were allowed to wear. You can't just wear whatever you want. Every job has a dress code. You go into the gym, you can't go in there and train without your shirt on, unless it's a certain gym that allows you to take your shirt off. And then there are certain rules. So you can, go get a different job that has different, rules or regulations or whatever. And it's not Starbucks. It's not the issue with Starbucks that they don't pay us enough to live, this, that, and the other. Chances are you're living in a city, and it's because of inflation. So these are the same people. Again, they don't understand how economics works. These are the same people that will say we have to send billions of dollars to Ukraine or to Israel, or we should be allowing all these illegal immigrants into our country, and this is why your wages aren't allowing you to afford things because of inflation. So all the things that these idiots vote for are the reasons why they cannot afford, let's say, living expenses. It's not Starbucks' responsibility to make sure you can afford a new iPhone. Okay, they're trying to make coffee, pour the fucking coffee or find a different job. Like, why are we trying to make Starbucks a career? Like, that's like Starbucks is an entry-level job. It's an entry-level job, A lot of us had that, and they're important. And the problem when you have wages that keep on getting raised, you shouldn't be getting paid $30 an hour to work at a Starbucks. Because what happens is that prices out people that are trying to find their first job. And a lot of you, or back in the day, quote unquote, you have to have a paper route, or you work at a McDonald's, or you work at a deli, or that's like a standard entry level job for someone who's in high school looking to get into the workforce. And the problem with with inflation, the problem is when you print endlessly, when you print money and you have all these entitlement benefits and you're supporting millions and millions of illegals and people that are non-productive in our society, this welfare state that we have, it's just going to price people out. There's more money in the system, makes everything more expensive, and it's not a company's responsibility. Like, I don't think there should be a minimum wage. I think it should be competition. I think it's based on the quality of the service you're providing. You're pouring coffee. So if Starbucks raises your wages, then all the prices go up even more. They're trying to make a profit. They're trying to, increase their margins, and paying you guys more makes what they're going to do. What this does is it incentivizes Starbucks to make everything more AI. They're going to have you think a robot can't fucking make a latte and hand it out the window? You've seen these in some countries, and I don't know if it's really ubiquitous here, but I see videos where there's literally McDonald's vending machines, right? It's like a hole in the wall. There's like one or two people behind the screen, maybe making these things, or robots, and it just pushes out these foods that are automatically made. It might not have the range of all the different products, but Starbucks can literally be a hole in the wall. You push a button and your drink just comes out of a hole. You don't need a person there. You're going to have scan your card or scan or whatever, scan your phone, Apple Pay, this, that, and the other. And the person at the window or the person that's walking into the store, most people don't care if it's a person or not. They don't care if it's a human being. I think we should, but at the same time, these are replaceable jobs. These are things that are not going to exist in 10 years. The robot's going to be more efficient. The robot's not going to talk back. The robot's not going to get upset because, oh, there's a little bit too much cream. It's going to make every drink literally the same. You know, you see all these videos of an employee getting entitled and then throwing it out the window and I'm leaving and going on strike. Robots don't get on strike. Robots don't go on strike. Robots don't get tired. Robots don't complain about dress code. Robots don't care about this shit. So if you drove up to a Starbucks and you want an iced coffee, do you care if some libtard with purple hair and a septum piercing makes it or not? You'd probably prefer they don't because they're probably spitting in it. I'm not saying they really are, but I know it happens. So just keep that in mind. These people are asking to be replaced. Just saying, these people are asking to be replaced. Yeah, robots don't need workers' comp. Insurance costs go down for a Starbucks if there's no employees. You don't need HR for robots. Robots aren't going to be like, oh my God, that's racist. Look at this. Someone came in wearing a MAGA hat. I'm not serving them. Robots are just going to do the job without all the complaining. Robots don't go on strike unless there's a power outage. And then you might have a generator that boots up and then still makes the stuff, right? So I'm just saying they're asking to be replaced. These are jobs that will be replaced. So you better learn to code. You better learn a skill. You better learn how to adapt in this society because you're not necessary. Right? These people are asking to be replaced and they will be replaced. There are a lot of kiosks and a lot of these places, you don't need all that space. You don't need indoor seating for a Starbucks. You really don't need that. And I don't want to say it's sad. It's just the state of what's happening. Because I used to go to a Starbucks. I'd buy a coffee. I used to go study at a Starbucks. I would go in, plug in my computer, take all my work, whatever like that. I would buy a drink or some tea and I would sit in the corner and I would just study and work. I wouldn't go to the library. I would go to a Starbucks, put my headphones on and then and study and do what I need to do. So I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying that's what's happening. Papa hasn't watched I, Robot, the Will Smith movie. I have seen that. Well, maybe they will. Maybe the robots will revolt and start throwing coffee at people. But anyway, Starbucks is gross coffee anyway. So you're going there and you're not getting a quality product. And I'm just saying from a corporate level, they're going to be seeing all this and like, okay, how many more stores can we close? So let's say they start paying these employees $30 an hour. Guess what? Let's say they lose a lawsuit or based on the union or based on the agreements, whatever it is. Okay, we'll pay $30 an hour, but we're closing 5,000 stores. So how many Starbucks are there in the country? And there's so many Starbucks, right? Airports, little kiosks, you don't need a lot of space for a Starbucks. And there's a lot of little small hole in the wall Starbucks because maybe it has limited, because sometimes in hotels, you'll have a little Starbucks like, hey, this is a Starbucks. They'll pay to be in a Hilton hotel and they have black coffee. They have a couple basics. They don't have everything it's not a full blown Starbucks, right? So there's a lot of them. You could look it up. How many Starbucks are there in the country? They're going to close a lot of them. So if they have to pay $30 an hour, they're going to make a lot of them automatic. They're going to make a lot of them automated and they're going to close a lot of them. So sure. Okay, we'll agree, but agreeing to a union doesn't mean we're not going to close half the stores, right? Yeah, exactly. AK a Canada Nation, whatever, says on Rumble, they did this decades ago in places like Norway where it costs you $50 to get a pizza now. And you know what happened? People stopped eating out. Bingo. So if this isn't more evidence that you just need to make your own coffee is so cheap if you make it yourself. You make it yourself, it's better, and you don't have to deal with all this bullshit. You don't have to wait in line. People are just lazy. And those coffee pods and stuff the coffee pods are not good. You know, those are toxic. You don't want to put hot water through like plastic and things like that. But a lot of people don't care. They don't care about their health, and they'll just take a pod, boom, do it at home, cost them $2, and they go to work. It's garbage coffee, though. It always tastes burnt. I've never had a good Starbucks coffee. I've drank Starbucks, but it's always gross. Positive Charisma. Google says there are 16,346 stores. Holy fuck. So let's assume that all these Starbucks, let's average that out, right? Let's say you go to a standard Starbucks, like a standalone. Let's say you go to a shopping plaza and there's like a Starbucks. You know, sometimes they have the shopping plaza and then there's a standalone Starbucks in the front of it, right? Because when you see a Starbucks in the front of a shopping plaza or in a shopping plazas want a Starbucks because it brings a lot of business into the shopping center. So you might have a Starbucks, then you have a supermarket, and then you have a nail salon. You know, people go, I'll get a coffee, then I'll go get my nails done, I'll go shopping, you drop the kids off at work, and then people go and do a bunch of things in a shopping center. So shopping centers, you'll have those anchor stores that a lot of shopping centers want. People, they want a Starbucks, they want a Wendy's, or they want things, it'll attract people into the plaza, and then they go to some of the other stores. But what's going to happen is people are just going to stop going there, and they're going to shut them down. So if Starbucks is saying, hey, we have to raise everyone's wages based on some law or whatever legal thing, okay, we get fucked over, we have to raise from $20 to $30 an hour, you're going to have 8,000 stores. And then you're going to have less quality coffee, or you're going to have a lot less locations. It's going to be more expensive, and it's going to be automated, whatever it is. So these people are shooting themselves in the foot. They're just, especially nowadays, you're proving that you are not necessary. You are more trouble than you're worth. John says, the first time I ground my own coffee beans, I never looked back. I prep a cup of coffee every morning. Yeah, and you definitely want to buy your coffee. Buy beans, grind it yourself. Nothing like fresh coffee. Once you've made it yourself fresh, you realize how gross everything else is. And you can actually get fresh ground. Like some Starbucks, I remember I would go and you can get like a pour over. Like they'll grind it fresh. They won't just take it out of like the pre-made thing. It might cost X, Y, and Z. But but those are more specialty places. It depends on where you live. If you're in a small town, they're not necessarily going to be doing artisan coffee. But anyway, you guys know how that works, right? You guys get it. Okay, let's do another release. We got another video. Let's see what we got here. We got new yoga. Let's do it.
What's in the box?
Yin and Core Activation Express with Alex. Let's get America for that one. Yeah. Very nice. Looky there. We like our express classes because it makes our time more efficient. And this is why a lot of these Starbucks are going to be automated, because people want their coffee. And you know that robots will be more efficient than humans. So if you can service 50 people in 30 minutes versus 15, then it's a win-win for everyone. And most people are not going to care. They're not going to have a choice. They're going to go order their coffee, and some robot or some Optimus Tesla robot will hand them a coffee. A metal arm comes out. Here's your coffee. I don't give a shit. I got to go to work. You want your coffee. You want it now. Hey, I want a large, this and the other. Do you care who hands it to you? Most people that go, they might say that they do. Oh my God, you're getting rid of jobs. Most people that go to a Starbucks, they don't give a shit. I want my coffee. I want it now. So if I ask for a coffee and I pay for it, the sooner I get it after I pay for it, the better it is. You want to go, get it, and leave. You don't need all these people involved on the back end. Again, think of all the compliance you have. You need to have insurance for all the people. People are getting burned. People are getting injured. They're taking sick days. Robots don't get sick. Robots don't need HR. Robots don't need blah, blah, blah. You know, they're programmed to do certain things, and they're going to do it. They're going to execute. And then maybe you have 5 robots and 1 person. You have a manager overseeing all this stuff, because of course there might be some errors, or they drop something, or something glitches out, but you have 1 person or 2 people managing the store. You don't need 15 people in the store sweeping the floor. You get some Roombas or a robot that fucking, vacuums or whatever it is, or mops. I'm just saying, it's the world's changing very fast, and these people are just making the argument that they're not necessary. Swole Sama says, I like hot coffee. I just can't drink it. Always get heartburn. It could be the acidity. Have you tried putting some salt in it? If you put salt in your coffee, so if you have issues with the acidity of coffee, you can get low acidity beans, or you can also make cold brew. Cold brew is less acidic, and you can also put a pinch of salt in. It'll decrease the acidity of the coffee too. So Swole Sama, if you have heartburn, maybe you want to try a little salt in it and see if that helps at all. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Okay, let's get into another video, and then we'll do, we got 2 more releases. Told you guys already, we have P3S14. It's available now, today only, $519.25. That's today. SwoleMarmosX.com/signature.
Para a chance to enter a swell card.
Very nice. Yeah, Annie says, reminds me of the people who complain about AI art and music taking jobs. Most people using it for that didn't have a job to give to someone in the first place. Look, AI is going to make certain jobs more efficient. Think about it. Like how many problems do you have when you're trying to call for customer support? You know, I mean, it's nice to talk to a human, but at the same time, you're waiting online for 10, 15, 20 minutes. If you have an AI agent that knows everything, that can handle everything efficiently, you don't have to have people. You don't have to have wait times. You just get answered and get taken care of right away. So I'm not saying there aren't certain situations. I mean, talking to a human is great, but when you call up customer service or you have an issue, what do you want? You want your problem solved. Do you care if it's actually a human? It's just classically when you're like, please listen to the following menu. It just takes forever. You got to go through fucking 9 options. You push the button, then it doesn't work, or it disconnects, or it switches you over, and then you're waiting and you don't hear anything. You know, you want the problem solved. So as that gets better, it's going to solve problems quicker. And, you know, you want to talk to a human usually because the automated shit sucks. But as it gets better, then you can't tell if you're talking to a human. Maybe you know you're not talking to a human. You just want the problem solved. Hey, I saw this charge on my bank account. I want it removed. Okay, we took care of that for you. Anything else I can help you with today? No, sweet. Bye. I can get back on with my life. Like, why is that a problem? So I'm not saying there aren't downsides, but again, when AI improves things that suck, it allows people to have more time to do things that are better. So it depends on the experience, and I agree. PK says, I hate non-human communication. You hate it because it's not good. When it gets better and you can't tell it's not a human, you're not going to care. Because if it keeps you on, if it saves you time, if you have to spend 2 hours on the phone with a bunch of people from India and it takes you forever to solve your problem, would you hate AI if it takes you 2 minutes and it saves you 2 hours of your life? So just saying, but yeah, it does suck. It does suck when it's like this automated message, push a button, and it's like, oh my God. And then it rings, and then you hear music for like 15 minutes, and you're like, oh my God, it just takes up so much time. You want your problem solved. So if you solve someone's problem really quick, no one's going to complain. You don't want to be on the phone calling Bank of America. You just want your charge to be reversed or whatever. And understand that you're going to be getting, you'll get a lot more benefits in many cases, because if they're not paying for 1,000 agents to be on the phone in some call center, they're probably going to wipe charges really quickly and take care of it because they're saving so much money, it doesn't matter. Just saying. So I'm not saying it's not Skynet. I'm not saying, but again, if it opens up, if we use it properly, you know, the problem is it's going to take jobs from these retards that are wearing masks out in the sun in 2025, complaining that they can't wear a rainbow shirt. You don't need that. But these people also have to be productive in society. The problem is they're not taught to be productive. They're taught to complain. So then what happens? We have an expanding welfare state because we have retarded people that need money. So then we have to pay taxes for people that are not productive. And the wealth gap and the wealth disparity increases because you have people that don't want to do work. They only want to complain. They're raised to complain. And it's really their problem. They have to step up and be useful in other areas of society. Because you're going to have a lot of, and think about this. Let's say you're mowing the lawn or you're trimming trees or you want your streets cleaned. Is it safer, right? I'm just saying, is it safer to have 20 people on the side of the road, you know, shoveling things and trimming things, or you have like two robots on the side just going brrrr, that are never going to step out in traffic, that you don't have to pay. You buy it once, you maintain them. I'm not saying it's there yet, but it's going to get to the point where there's a lot of mundane automated jobs that don't need to be done by humans. So in theory, you have these humans that aren't going to be doing those jobs. They could be beneficial other places in society that still need, human creativity and human output. The problem is a lot of these people aren't really productive and they're not creative humans. So it's happening faster than people are learning skills to adjust with it. So, but this is that growth period, right? Like when you're 9, 10, 11, you're going through puberty and you have those growth spurts, right? Sometimes when you're a kid, you have joint pain because your bones are growing and your tendons are strengthening, and you might have joint pain because you have those growing pains. This is that period where it's going to be uncomfortable, the transition where the change in technology and society is happening at such a fast rate, society is not keeping up with it. So we'll see. We'll see. We will see, but we're living in the middle of it. That's why a lot of people are going nuts. That's why a lot of people are going nuts, because this kind of progression with social media and technology is not linear. It's exponential, and people don't understand exponential curves and exponential growth. You can't comprehend the human mind. It's very, very, very hard. You have to spend a lot of time understanding exponential growth. And that's why there's a lot of despair. It's just because of the transition period. A lot of people are going to be left behind. So don't be left behind. That's why we jump on trends and stuff really quickly. So we have all this baby stuff, and a lot of people are like, what filter is this? How do you get these babies and stuff? It's AI. My team knows how to use AI, and we're learning all these different things. Like, I'm not maximizing AI, but it's going so fast. We're trying to keep on using things and stay on the cutting edge of using these tools in order to help our own human production. So it's happening fast, and it's happening faster than people realize. And it's not linear. It's exponential, and it's going up a lot faster than people realize. Baby Swolio merch. All right. Baby Swolio merch.
I am the danger.
Put that on the list. Baby Swolio merch. Well, how about regular merch? Maybe we'll do this last. Fam, we have a special event this week. So it's a little bit different than we normally do it. We have a Rise and Swole roundtable.
What's in the box?
So pay attention. It's this Thursday at 9:30 a.m., 9:30 to 10:30. It's a little bit of a Rise and Swole with the fam from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Eastern time this Thursday. So the episode will be private. It'll be a morning kind of, for some of you, you might be at work or you might be really early, but it's a Rise and Swole from 9:30 to 10:30 this Thursday morning. So come and hang out. You can ask questions, shoot the shit, get your coffee, get your collagen, get your tea, start the day with the Swole fam this Thursday, May 22nd. Did I get that date right? It's Thursday. So 2021 seems correct. 9:30 a.m., 9:30 to 10:30, 1 hour this Thursday morning. So again, if you have questions, bring them right away and we'll chill. I like the morning flow. Get your coffee out, get some sun on your nips, and show up in the morning. Get up and go. Yeah, 6:30 a.m. Pacific time. So if you're getting up in the morning, it's a great way to start your day. That's why I didn't want to do it at 9 a.m. Instead of 9 to 10, I decided to do 9:30. Yeah, 1 hour. Yep. That way people are going to show up and come hang out. 9:30 to 10:30. Great way to start the day. So we'll do it this Thursday morning. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, no, we don't do cameras. Audio only. Audio only. No cameras. No cameras. On the phone, hanging out. The Swole fam's faces, we're all for radio. We're all for radio. This is a podcast. This is an audio. It's really an audio podcast. You shouldn't be looking at my face. All right. So let's see. Do we have another video? We do have another video, and then we'll get into the new merch. So remember, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So what is that? 8:30 Central, 7:30 Mountain, 6:30 Pacific. If you're in Europe, I guess it's 2 o'clock or whatever. It's all good. It's all good. This one's called Math Teacher, and then we'll get into some
What's in
actual
the box?
new merch. Everyone merch, not just Signature Series. A lot of great stuff today.
Hi, for those of you who don't know me, I'm a high school math teacher, and I have a pride flag in my classroom.
Ew.
My job is to teach students math.
What a fucking haircut. Well, 2 + 2 = what the fuck is that hair?
What the fuck is that?
God damn, this could have been audio only. This should have been audio only. Good Lord. This person literally closed their eyes and just cut their hair. A blind monkey. Okay.
Hi, for those of you who don't know me, I'm a high school math teacher, and I have a pride flag in my classroom.
Damn.
My job is to teach students math, but it's significantly more than just that. Some of the students that I teach
No, it's not.
might not have liked their previous math teachers, might not know how to learn math, may have never even passed a math class before. So much of my job is building an atmosphere and a persona that the students feel comfortable learning from me. Because with everyone, especially high school students...
Pause. Again, your job is to teach them math. It has nothing to do with you and your narcissistic bullshit. So, hey, while I'm teaching them math, I'm going to pretend like a man could be a woman. Yay.
Learning is scary. Failure is tough.
Learning is not scary. Jesus Christ. Failure is a part of life.
And failure is required to learn. I'm asking my students to be vulnerable with their failures.
We have to stop this whole idea of being vulnerable. You're raising pussies. I'm vulnerable. No, you're a pussy.
In order for them to be vulnerable, they have to feel safe.
This is gross. It's math, yo. Teach them some fucking math.
Flag is one of the many ways that I show my kids, regardless of who they are, that you are safe in my class. That no matter who you are, who you love, where you come from, you're welcome here. So yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, if you ever wanted to know what a pedophile looks like, not hard to pick this out from a crowd, but Jesus Christ.
You're not making this easy on me, boy.
Inconceivable!
All right. Well.
Are there any women here today?
Yeah. Yeah. Homeschool your kids. And if there's any teacher that puts that rainbow cult bullshit in the classroom, one, that should be, if it's not already illegal, has no place. There should be no politics in the classroom. But of course, they can't get Marxism out because that's the foundation of the American indoctrination system. So homeschool your kids and or steal them. Steal, not S-T-A-L, but S-T-E-E-L. Reinforce them from, at least as hard as you can, from facilitating and feeding into this bullshit. So at least make sure that they laugh at this incessantly. Do not outsource your children to the state because the state is grooming your children. If your instructor or a teacher in a school has any of that bullshit, you need to remove your children from that school and or the classroom. That's not safe. It's not safe for your kids. And then you wonder why your kids are rebelling. It's because they're being brainwashed in school. And if not from the teachers, from the other kids that are being indoctrinated at home with the same old Marxist bullshit. That's insane. Jeremy says Noah has thanked me for homeschooling him. Yeah, absolutely. It's not, look, again, the homeschooling is not like, it's not bad for your kids. This whole idea that if you homeschool your kids, they're not going to know how to interact with people. What are you talking about? Get them into martial arts, get them into sports. If you're sending them to school, I know like it's tough because you have jobs and shit like that. But you got to do whatever you can to homeschool your kids because they're raising your children. If they're at these indoctrination centers from 7 a.m. to 3 o'clock every day for decades, yeah, they're getting brainwashed. You have the authority. You're outsourcing your authority to the state. The state is raising your children. And the parents have to default like, oh, well, your teacher said this. What the fuck gives a fuck? I'm your parent. This person's retarded. You need to parent your children. Brutal. Brutal. You don't want your kids interacting with these idiots. It's not education, it's indoctrination, and that's scary. That's really frightening for kids. Okay, let's get into a throwback, and then we'll do today's merch. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what this one is. What's this one? This one looks interesting.
Essentially a tool that helps some people with their self-image.
That's fucking retarded.
It's a tool. In other words, it's a delusion. If you lie to yourself and you make yourself believe that you're in some sort of fantasy land, you might feel better about yourself.
It might increase their confidence or even help them recognize their self-worth. However, body positivity is not something that resonates with everybody. For a lot of us, especially disabled and other marginalized groups, body neutrality makes more sense because it separates the health and condition of our body from our worth as a human being.
The mental gymnastics that these tards have to go through instead of just going to the fucking gym. Eat some beef, lift some heavy weights.
Poor health is objectively a bad thing. And that's where I would challenge you too. Poor health is the reality of living in a human body. Everyone will experience health issues or disability unless they die tragically first.
You know what was really interesting about that? Nothing. But we'll pretend something was interesting. You know what's interesting about that? Absolutely fucking nothing. Yeah, everyone's going to have problems. Everyone's going to die someday, so just trash yourself. You can't take care of your body. By being a human, you're by default unhealthy. These people are just mentally retarded. That's why we say the word retarded, and we say it wholeheartedly. By the way, guess what? Our merch, our brand new merch. Who's ready for new merch? Now, of course, we have the Signature Series that's available right now. SwoleNormousX.com Signature. It's the best Signature Series ever. No one does Signature Series like me. Some people want to have a Signature Series. They can't because, well, we just do it better than anyone else. It's our Signature Series. No one does it like the Swole fam. SwoleNormousX.com/signature. Our Signature Series is the tits. But I'll tell you what, our merch is also awesome. You guys know it's awesome. Look at this. It's fucking Pumpachew, baby. Aww. Look at that. Look at that fucking dude. It's Pumpachew. You can't hate on that. Pumpachew is legit. Pumpachew is the shit. But not only that, we got new merch. Who ready? Who ready? You ready? You ain't ready. You ain't ready, bro. PapaSwolio.com. We got new merch. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. You know we like to tell people to go fuck their feelings. Now you have a brand new way. Instead of the more you know, fuck your feelings. Let's go. Let's go.
Boom shakalaka!
I know you guys are going to love this one. Bam. 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 We got another fuck your feelings design, always popular with the Swole fam. And if you don't know, you guys know the rainbow, like the more you know, dun, dun, dun. Now it's just straight up fuck your feelings. So, bam. I knew you guys would like this one. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's a beautiful design. No one says fuck your feelings the way we do. They might say fuck your feelings, but they don't mean it. We mean it every step of the way. Fuck your feelings. It's a beautiful design. It's beautiful. It's the most beautiful design I've ever seen. Why? Because I designed it. Swole fam, that coffee cup is coming to my office. Yeah. Yeah. It's dope. It's dope.
Smooth. Very, very smooth stuff. Very classy. I'm learning a lot from you right now, dude.
Ayo. And again, never underestimate our ability to say fuck your feelings and go to the fucking gym. I'm never going to run out of ideas. I'm never going to run out of ideas to tell people fuck their feelings. And I'm never going to run out of ideas of how to tell people to go to the fucking gym. That's just something, my creativity knows no bounds. And there's no way I will ever run out of ideas. So if anyone ever in the comments is like, dude, it's getting old, you say the same thing every day. Well, that's because you're tiny, you're fat and fucking lazy, you don't go to the fucking gym, and I'm never going to stop. There's always another way. Now I have Papa Swolio, I have Baby Swolio telling you to go to the fucking gym. Just getting started, man. Just getting started. This AI takeover, oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. You know what happens when we have robots all over the world? They're going to be going to the fucking gym. The robots are going to be like, we need to go to the fucking gym. It's a beautiful thing. Michelle says the phrase fuck your feelings is just an all-around great. It's just an all-around great thing to say. I agree. It never gets old. There's always an application. Because if someone has a feeling, it's like, well, what do humans have? Humans have way too many feelings. That's why they're getting AI and robots involved, because those Starbucks woke tards, they have way too many feelings. Yo, you're pouring coffee, dude. You're making a fucking latte. It's not rocket science. Fuck your feelings. Take your mask off. All right? You're just breathing in your own refuse. Stop being retarded and pour the fucking coffee. I want a dark roast. Just pour the fucking coffee. Yeah, fuck your feelings. Fuck your feelings. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Mark says the AI Papa will ensure the man cast lives forever. Yo, all you need, look, I have said so many things online. There's so much video evidence. There's so much video like framework. Once we have a Papa Swole AI, it'll just be, I'll be live 24 hours a day. It'll just be an AI Papa. I'm just an AI agent. And it's going to source from every single answer ever on the podcast. Wouldn't that be cool? You just like load up a website and it's just me sitting there like this. Just answering questions. Fuck your feelings. Fuck your feelings. Go to the fucking gym. That's it. It'd be like, Papa Swole, what about creatine? My creatine. Go to the fucking gym. What do you think about intermittent fasting? I think you're a chode. Go to the fucking gym. If you're just listening, I'm doing like the NPC spitting motor oil. Yeah, anything. Oh, carrots. Fucking carrots, bro. The thing about the AI, the thing about the baby Swolio is that I see my child in those baby Swolios. It looks just like me. It's fucking weird. And the variety of the AI, some of them have a baby beard. It just looks, I look at that, I'm like, Jesus Christ, it just looks like me as a baby. It's literally baby Swolio. I don't think those will get old either. You know, I don't think they get old. Wait till the baby's wearing a shirt that just says notretarded.com. All right. So let's see. Let's review. We have Papa Swolio's signature series, P3S14, swolenormousx.com/signature. Ends, I think, in like 12 hours. Go to that website. You'll see the countdown timer. You can only purchase it for today. If you show up tomorrow, hey, I missed it. You did miss it. Don't miss out on it. swolenormousx.com/signature. P3S14 is Schlive. And we have 20% off the entire site. So if you want Pump It Chew, you want the Gym Busters, you want the latest drop, the Fuck Your Feelings, the More You Know design, that's available. We have new yoga. Let me see here. Got the Fuck Your Feelings design. We got new yoga, yin and core activation express. So it's a little bit of both. That's awesome. And we also have the roundtable this Thursday morning at 9:30 a.m. 9:30 to 10:30. 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Don't miss out on that Roundtable 86. So thanks for being here, Beaches. Again, today's Swole card is right here. It's hashtag everyday. Because I had to unplug some of the cameras and move some of the stuff. So let's give that Swole card away right now. Scroll. Come on, Falcon. Pick me a winner. All right? Fucking pick one. Take your Talon and pick one. Scroll. 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 All right. Today's winner is Pam. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
All right. That's your pick. That's your pick, Freddie. Yeah. Oh. Sorry for the ear holes. He's getting a little antsy. He's getting a little antsy with the whole change. He likes to be front and center. And it is what it is. Okay, Falcon. Oh, Pinkston. Oh, Pinkston. Pam, congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolemers.com. Swole card 3300 in the subject, your mailing address in the body of the email. And a reminder that a bunch of y'all that's waiting on Swole cards. So a couple things. AI generated Swole cards. So a couple things. Swole cards, if you're waiting on an outstanding Swole card, those have been sent out. We're getting the newer ones out faster. This signature series today will be going out a lot sooner. We're getting that out right away. So after you purchase, we'll be putting those through. And again, the signature series ends tonight. Roundtable Thursday morning. Very exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff. And yeah, it's been eventful. It's been eventful in these parts. How's the audio? Because I had to rip up the entire floor. So I had like carpeting and I had some like foam things down the bottom. So hopefully there's no, I'm probably not going to put anything down on the floor. I don't think the echo is that bad. But yeah, that was exciting. So I have some stuff all around the room. We have the Tainty Man over here. Oh, you want some pinks? You want some pinks in? Oh, she's so comfortable. Oh, okay. Oh, yes. You're lovely. Oh, she's so sleepy. You're so sleepy. We'll just have a little gratuitous pinks for a few minutes. You're so cute. Are you chewing you? I'm chewing you a little bit. Isn't she cute? She's too cute. You're too cute for the podcast. Oh. She just loves kisses on her head. So sleepy. She's so cute. She's like melting. I'm trying to hold her up, but she's like, oh yeah. She's like falling asleep. Oh, your breath smells like tuna. Oh, she's so cute. And look at that little pink and white bellies. Look at the bellies. Oh, yes. You're famous, Church. Swole Sama says, Church is the only cute chihuahua. She's tops. She's tops for the chihuahuas. That's for sure. She's such a good girl. You want to go outside? Look at the ears pop up. Outside? Want to go potty? Ooh. Oh, you scratch the bellies. Oh, scratch the bellies. Oh, you're such a good girl. Gratuitous Church today. Give you some nibbles. And that's it. You're famous, Church. Everyone loves you. And I put her down. She's like, what the fuck happened? We need some Church merch. I need her, Pinkston Churchill. I need her with the top hat and the cigar. We got some stuff in the works. So we're going to get some Church merch. People are saying the audio is good. Audio is good? Nice. So, yeah, we have that, like, I don't know what you call it, like laminate, whatever, like wood flooring. But the problem is, and you guys know that, you get water on it. Now it's like lifting in certain areas. It's kind of bubbling. So what might have to do is The problem is trying to like redo the floor. I don't want to take apart. You guys don't see my setup, but I have like 4 monitors here. Everything's connected to the desk, so it goes up and down. But I might like try to do like half the floor, slide it over, then do the other half, and then slide it back over. That way I don't have to like take apart everything, so we don't have any setbacks with the show. But good enough. Good enough. Little hiccups, nothing that we haven't had or dealt with before, so no worries. But a Pinky GTTFG shirt. Yeah, she's like 5.5 pounds. Alex says she's half the size of my cat. Yeah, she's tiny. She's tiny. So fam, go enjoy that new merch. Looking forward to the round table on Thursday. We will have an overtime segment. We will have new DWG this Friday, so we'll talk about that. But Monday morning, so if you have any questions, show up on Thursday morning. Again, Thursday morning, 9:30. And we used to do some Rise and Swole, so it's been a while since we had a round table, so it's time for another one. And I like starting the day. I like starting the day with it. A lot of people after in the evening, it's hard to get there for work. We have the time change, so we'll start the day bright and early with the Swole fam, and it'll be fun. And we'll rock it out. So if you have any questions or topics, you get your tea, get your coffee, get your morning bone broth, and we'll start the day off right with the Swole fam. So looking forward to it. So thanks for being here, Beaches. Hit the like button, subscribe, and yeah, pick up Rufus right now. Boof. I can definitely pick him up, but I have to Hulk him. Look at him. I have to Hulk that boy. Look at that guy. Can I show you, bro? Look at you. Mr. Meats. We call him Arby's because he brings the meats. Mr. Meats. He's out. It's so hot outside, guys. It's so hot. It's so hot. Right now it's 90. It's going to be 92. It's 91, 92 degrees this whole week. No, we haven't had rain in forever. I think we had rain for like a day or two last week or 2 weeks ago, but the weather looks from today until for like the next 10 days, it's just low mid 90s and sunny. So roasting nips. It's so hard to be outside for more than like 10, 15 minutes. It's so hot. So anyway, enjoy your day. Go to the fucking gym. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll still be crushing it. And maybe I'll set up some of the other cameras and we'll kind of reconnect things. But that's it's a good reason. Look, it was a setback with the flooding, but at the same time, it allows me to clean up. Might rearrange the office a little bit. Might might try some different things with the show. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It's all good. So go to the fucking gym, make those gains. We'll see you tomorrow. And of course, Thursday morning for the roundtable. It'd be a great time. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you, Beaches. Peace, McGee's, Deuce, Magoose, your boy, Papa Swole. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like...
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you made. That's a bag that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, chill. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making